5 mistakes to avoid in your SOP for masters. Did you know that 50% of the SOPs are rejected just after looking at the first paragraphs? That's majorly because you haven't personalized it. You haven't really put your heart into it. You haven't even tried to make it interesting for them to read. If you were to read documents throughout the day for 4 or 5 months every day, are you going to read all the documents, or are you going to just read those documents that you feel are interesting enough to read? That's the case with an SOP and the admissions officer. So today we are going to be discussing top 5 mistakes that people do when they write their SOPs and why that can cause a rejection. But before that, why should you even listen to me? I am the founder of Connect. I have close to 3.5 years of experience of helping out students get into the best colleges of the world like SEC, LBS, Carnegie Mellon, UIUC, Columbia, Michigan Ross, and I've talked to over 9,000 plus students. Whenever I tell what I'm gonna mention in the whole video, it's gonna be completely honest, and I promise you, you won't find it anywhere else. So let's get to it. First and the most important mistake that I feel people make in an SOP is they try to make it like a resume. They really try to mention everything they have done in their whole career. See guys, you have to understand there is a certain limit for most of the SOPs. It's usually 1 page. And when you actually get down to writing it, you will see that 1 page is not enough. It's extremely less. If I were to write it right now, I would take at least 5 pages to write my SOP, right? What people try to do is they try to mention a content of 5 pages in a page. Now, all the experiences, then they feel like rush. They feel like just you're putting the point out there. You just want to mention it for the sake of mentioning it. Rather, what you should do is you should really pick your experiences, right? Not everything you've done in your career is basically most important thing that you have done till now. There are going to be few inflection points, that's what we call it in our editing process, inflection points, hero events that you need to figure out, which were very, very important. You need to look at those, explain those very well, right? Go deep into those rather than mentioning everything you have done. You have your resume, make good use of your resume, and don't insert all those things in your SOPs. Second point, not making your goals clear. So what I've seen, and even with the students we are working, the first draft they share right now, it's very, very generic. They just say that I would want to go into either marketing or finance. I would want to, and sustainability is a word that a lot of people are choosing these days. I want to, do something for the environment. I want to do something for the society. This, that. Again, guys, see, you have to be convincing enough, right? You can't be convincing enough by putting an or in your career goals. You have to be very strict with it. If you're not sure about it, it's fine. At least get something right now that you can write in your essays. At least what you like, at least what you know about, right? Get down to it. Talk about the companies you want to target. Why do you want to target those companies? Why that type of industry would want to work in? What difference would you create? Give the college the confidence, right? Top colleges don't really just want students who want to get into that college. They want students they feel are going to represent their brand in different places, right? So you need to give them that confidence that you know what you're doing and you will get that opportunity that you're writing in your essays. Extremely important. Third mistake, a very, very, very common one, right? While again, I feel this isn't given that much importance and it's not a make or break sort of a mistake, has worked, pretty well in some cases that I've read the SOPs. So what people really are doing these days, that given the AI has come up, what they do is they just go to the course page of the whatever degree and college they're targeting, they copy the content, or they take the link, they go to GPT and they ask them to prepare a paragraph based on why I will be targeting Imperial College London, I'll be targeting edX. And after I read those paragraphs, it really feels like it's everything about that college. You cannot really like every module of that college. Even if you do, it doesn't feel convincing enough for me. If you go on and you're talking to someone and let's say you are dating them, maybe yes, you're trying to say things to them, I like your eyes, I like your nose, I like your everything, right? It's fine at that point of time. But this is your admissions process. These are professors, these are teachers who have been doing this every day. You need to be very, very specific with what you like, right? You like that course, how will it benefit you? Maybe mention 2, 3. And if you genuinely like all the courses, then prove that, right? Don't just mention it like I like this, and this also is a good module that I feel would be good for me, but this is also good, right? I really like their clubs, I really like that. Don't make it feel like you've written everything, right? Because everybody else is doing the same thing. You might as well do something different. Pick a couple of experiences, talk about how you would implement these in your careers, why this will bridge a gap, right? So go deep into that. Fourth mistake, overusing technical jargon. So, I mean, in a lot of cases, what I really feel is, and this happens when people actually have done a lot of things. This won't happen with people who haven't done a lot of things and they are writing SOPs and amplifying things. But who have done actually a lot of things, and they really talk about going about the tools they have used, the languages they have used, the whole process of how this machine works, or this process works, or this application works, company works, industry works. You're not teaching them, you're not educating them how these works. I mean, those guys already know, they do it for a living. They are reading these things every hour, every half an hour. Please don't go into the details. Really talk about your motivation of doing things. And if you want to, maybe add a line or two about it. But whenever you feel it's getting too technical, I think you should just remove it. It's not going to help you that much. You won't be able to impress them with that. It's more about you. And the last mistake, which is a very, very big one, even more important for MBAs than anything else, is basically connecting your goals to the college. So you need to really understand that, few programs, few colleges, they have their likenesses, they have certain trends, right? For example, if somebody is graduating from Imperial, right? So in a cohort of, let's say, a program, maybe let's say it's MIM or Masters in Finance, you will see that certain percentage of people are going into that domain, right? Maybe let's say it's investment banking, and certain percentage of people going into consulting, certain percentage of people going to this, that. So if it's a very generic program, it's fine, right? You can actually mention everything. But in my opinion, what I have seen that, if you really talk about something where the colleges don't really have a very strong track record of getting students into, or students don't end up going into that, there is nothing in that field, it might, again, there is no theory behind it, but this is what I personally feel in certain cases. I've listened to a couple of people who are studying in colleges like, Stanford, LBS, Harvard and all, and this is a very common point I've heard from them, that you need to really understand what the college is famous for, what they really deliver. And if that is something that you would want to do, if you want to do something and that college is not so good at it, why even target that college, right? Maybe just go to another college that is good at that particular field or that domain. For example, Wharton is known for finance, right? And if you go to some other college and say that, I feel this is the best college for finance, and this would help me get there, they also know they're not so good at finance, right? So you need to prove it and you need to do your research. Some programs are highly research based. You don't have a research based profile and you're targeting research based programs, you won't get in, right? In that case, you have to target industrial programs. And some colleges are highly specific about the sort of extracurriculars people have. There are colleges like HEC that I know of. If you go to LinkedIn, you'll see that only, like in 90% of the cases, they only take IIT and Delhi University students. That's a trend I have seen. Almost everyone I know from HEC right now. So you need to do your research in that aspect and accordingly align your goals. I mean, instead of aligning your goals with the college, rather align the college with your goals. Just change the college, target a better college for that particular goal that you have. One bonus tip for an SOP is please make the starting paragraph of the SOP extremely, extremely engaging. This is where you really set the tone, right? It basically sets an impression on, whether it's going to be a good SOP or not. Because see, those guys are doing it every day. And from the first paragraph, they're gonna get to know if this is worth their time or not. In most of the cases, when they feel it's not, it is not. So there is a mental or a psychological game that goes over here. So try to make the first paragraph extremely catchy. There are certain tips to it, which we follow, of course, in our editing process. And if you want to know those, if you have any questions in general also about the whole application process, you need help curating the best SOPs essays, we are always available. Just click on the link below in our description and book a session with us. And hopefully someone from our team will reach out to you very soon. Or if I'm available, I would love to talk to you for sure. Till then, goodbye. We're going to be coming up with an extremely great video next time. Please do subscribe our channel. That's how you'll get to know about it, and also press the bell icon.